beyond all reason. Please just let it go. Let it go, Victor. It is impossible for you to win this war.
Watch me.
You gave him everything he wanted, and betrayed your own daughter to do it. So where is he, Mom, huh? Where's Reg? Reg!
Moving speech, really. Almost Shakespearean, wasn't it? Hey, my bold and the beautiful fans, welcome back to the channel. And Soapies, gather around because this episode of the Bold and the Beautiful, had the Forrester serving up drama hotter than the LA sun. And I'm here to break it all down for you with a little extra shade and some venting. You know what? I'm going to give you a few highlights and then we'll dive deep into this September 4th episode. First, we got Brooke and Katie running the Ridgely Taylor cheer squad. Thomas sulking like an unpaid intern. Taylor clinging to this engagement like it's the last Birkin bag at an outlet sale. And then we got Eric out here channeling his inner dictator, being a hypocrite too. So buckle up because this ride is messy, so let's jump into it. So first stop is over at the Forrester design office, and we got Brooke and Eric over there fawning over each other. The man is talking about fixing up his house, but because this is Brooke, she quickly pivots back to her favorite hobby, obsessing over Ridge and why he's still sniffing around Taylor. And she's basically like, I know Taylor's out here sewing on wedding dress and writing Mrs. Ridge Forrester in her diary every night and trying to plan a date. And honestly, she's not wrong. But I got to give a shout out to this message I saw in the Facebook group. The way he's pushing his son to his ex. I mean, it almost seemed like they got some sort of a love affair going on. And it's absolutely nauseating. Shout out to one of our soapies, Sandra Whitaker, who posted this in the Facebook group chat about this whole love affair that seems like is underlying between Eric and Brooke. Maybe Eric should just dump Donna and marry Brooke and just be done with it already. I mean, trying to force this man to choose Brooke, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I mean, it's too bad, like she said in her comment, that they refuse to give Taylor some dignity instead of constant humiliation at the expense of Brooke. I mean, and she also said, can somebody put a muzzle on Katie? Why? Well, speaking of Katie, Katie pops in like the little sister who lives for a whole lot of mess and immediately jumps on Team Brooke. Together, they're just like Regina George and Gretchen Wieners plotting at the burn book table. Eric, bless him, sits there looking like he's about to call Ridge himself and just say, boy, dump Taylor and go home to Brooke before I disown you. He even says as much before making his dramatic exit. Now it's just the Logan sisters talking circles about how Ridge and Brooke are meant to be again. For the 1,000th time at least. Honestly, if you had $1 for every time they said it, you'll have enough money to buy Taylor a clue. But then they get into this conversation about Thomas and how they're wondering if he's going to somehow maybe not have changed. And they go way past 2023 when Hope blew up her own marriage to screw Thomas's brains out for the better of 7 or 8 months. But they go back to baby Beth, who was Sorard 8 years. She's 8 years old now. So I guess we're going to blow past that fact of what happened in the past 2.5 years. Anyway, all of a sudden looks like Brooke is, I don't know if Thomas have changed. Hopefully he's not that same person with the whole Beth situation. Why are we rehashing that, Belle? We only going to bring back Thomas, even if it's for a short time, just to make him unhinged again and give an alley-oop to Brooke and Ridge, and you might as well throw Hope and Liam there. Let's talk about Taylor, because she's across the hall and landing on thick. Ridge tells her Thomas's engagement with Paris is over, and Tay-Tay immediately spins into, well, that's why our wedding is more important than ever. Thomas needs this. Girl, excuse me, your son losing his fiance doesn't mean you suddenly get to fast track a wedding dress fitting. But Taylor got her blinders on. She's all, oh, Ridge, it's so magical having Thomas home to help us plan our wedding. Meanwhile, Ridge is standing there looking like he needs a nap and a stiff drink. Enter Eric walking in at the worst time possible. Taylor, in her infinite decision, is like, guess what, Daddy Eric? We're setting a wedding date real soon. Yay, us. Eric gives a smile faker than Sheila's apologies, but just know he's thinking over my dead body. And oh baby, once he corners Ridge later, he let it rip. Eric basically says, listen here, son, dump Taylor now, tonight, in this sham before I lose respect for you entirely, in so many words. Ridge tried to pivot to Thomas, but Eric is not having it. He's practically screaming, for God's sake, stop letting these kids pressure you into marrying their mother. That's my job, pressuring you to marry Brooke. The audacity. Being a hypocrite. And I know some people might say, oh, it's different. I mean, the kids are grown. This is just, his dad trying to give him advice. Thomas just came to town within the last couple days, mentioning how this would be great for him. Whereas Eric put in a whole action plan. First at the fashion runway show when he made that wedding dress for Brooke to trigger memories in Eric. Then the trip to Naples, which was also part of putting those two together, putting his 2 cents in there. The man was about to run around town just to make sure she keep Brooke away from Nick. And now every 5 seconds he see Ridge with Taylor or Ridge alone, you corner him with, you need to change this now. This needs to be fixed now. Do the right thing. Brooke is the love of your life. Really? I mean, so let me get this straight. You are trying to put your ex with your son for the 1,000th time. And I guess he has no respect for Taylor. Anyway, this is where we cue his greatest hits montage. Yes, they drag out that Italy rescue footage again because apparently Ridge can only make decisions if he remembers himself as a knight in shining armor. Eric is basically begging him not to blow it and then storms out after one last dramatic father-son hug. Ridge is left there alone, flashing back through every Brooke moment like he's starring in his own Hallmark highlight reel. Now we swing over to the guest house. Thomas is brooding with old photos of Brooke and Ridge like some rejected scrapbooker. He's muttering about how he knows Daddy won't let them down. Taylor then shows up, and of course, they instantly start talking about, you guessed it, the wedding. Sis is giddy as a teenager going to prom, announcing we're setting a date as soon as Ridge get home. Thomas light up like a Christmas tree in the morning because apparently nothing says healthy family dynamic like pushing your father into matrimony. Taylor tries to bring up Paris, and Thomas basically shrugged it off, saying it is what it is. Translation, don't ask me too many questions about that storyline, Mom. The writers haven't figured it out yet. Anyway, right now, he only cares about Ridge making mommy's dreams come true. And even brags that he told his dad to step up and be a man. Oh, yeah, Soapies, not Thomas out here coaching Ridge on how to be a husband, please. Then, over in her own guest house, Taylor gets full fantasy mode. She's remembering proposing to Ridge like it's a treasured moment and not the world's longest hostage situation. Now, Ridge walks in, she hands him wine, and then boom, she launches straight into, soon you'll be my husband again. No warm-up, no foreplay, just straight to the altar talk. Now, Ridge smiles, but inside, you know he's hearing Eric's voice screaming, in this thing, tonight. Okay, so there you have it, and that, my friends, is where we leave it. Taylor is out here planning a wedding like it's happening tomorrow. Brooke is somewhere rehearsing her vows in the mirror because she knows that man always come back. And Ridge is being spiritually waterboarded by both his father and his conscience. And final thought, Taylor sis, if you gotta beg, plead, and fast track a wedding date to keep a man, maybe, just maybe, it's not the fairy tale you think it is. I mean, I'm just saying. And that goes for you too, Brooke. All right, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. Till the next one, we'll see you all soon. Bye, Soapies.